Okay, here we are once again, live Friday night tech talk. Good evening, folks. Mobile Geezer here, and I'm glad you're here. Pardon me. We do this every Friday night if you're new, and we go over some of the stories that relate to tech from last Friday to this Friday for within the last week. Let me get to the comments. The only one in here so far tonight has been Eleanor. She was the first one in. And glad she's here. And no Brian as yet, no Annette as yet. And of course, we haven't seen Renz much for the last few weeks. I hope he's okay. But we'll be going over some of the stories. Last week, Ted was right on the money. And here's Munchie. Hey, Munchie, glad you're here, brother. Munchie does drop in once in a while. Mike calls Munchie the professor because of his knowledge, and I would agree with that. So Ted did send me a message about 10 minutes ago. I guess he's driving home, and he's going to be a little bit late, but he will be here, I gather. So... Every week, I give you the show notes on my webpage, so let me show you that. You share screen here, and this will be the show notes for tonight. Okay, so let me get rid of some of my branding that's in the way. Okay, so if you go to mobilegreaser.wordpress.com, click on today's date, which is always at the top, and you'll just get the stories for tonight's show. So while we're here, I always give you a little bit of a preview of what we're going to go over. And I always say I try to give you interesting stories, and I try to bring you whatever big story has been up for the week. And we have kind of a big story, but we'll get to that, and it's in here. So I try to start with what's interesting, and of course, this is a big deal to everybody. We're going to start with Prime Day. That was officially announced. So we're going to read it off of ZDNet. So that'll be our first story. Second story also has to do with Prime because the government is accusing Prime of deceptive practices, trying to keep people locked in. So we're going to go over that. I found that story on BBC.com. And then again, we know the Galaxy Unpacked event is going to be in July. So got promotional images leaked ahead of Galaxy Unpacked. I got that from Gadgets 360. Everybody has a story on this, but everything that they're going to be announcing, I gather, has been leaked. So we'll go over that. And then, as of officially today, the Motorola Razr Plus is officially for sale starting today. And some of the guys had already gotten it. I did not pre-order mine until yesterday, day before yesterday. So mine will be coming in about a week and a half, I guess. So, and I'll have my Z Flip 4 for a while, but I actually traded it towards getting the Motorola Razr Plus. So we'll talk about that. They have a full review out there from CNET. And there's a lot of reviews, and everybody's pretty impressed with the same main feature, which you probably know. Okay, and then I found a story on The Verge. This has mainly to do with the European Union, which we all know has a lot of sway in what these companies do. And I said the return of replaceable batteries. Well, we're going to see. Now, of course, they pass rules, but that means they're a couple of years out. So we'll see what happens. And then the last story, which I found interesting, was there's actually a robot food delivery service in Europe. And we're going to talk about it. It's by Bolt, and they are based in, I forget what country they're based in. But anyway, we'll be talking about that. So those are the 6 stories. No more going rectangles because of all the problems that they've been having. So those are going to be our 6 stories. Let's see. Let me put my branding back on here. Let me go back to the comments. Okay. So nothing new. So we still got Eleanor and Munchie. Anybody else that's new in here and wants to make a comment, so I'll know you're here, just type it in and let me know, and I'll acknowledge you. Meanwhile, we'll start with tonight's stories. So since this was just announced, I just said Prime Day 2023 is official, and here we go with ZDNet. Amazon Prime Day is official July 11th and 12th for major sales on tech and more. Amazon's biggest sale of the year is kicking off soon. Here's everything we know so far and some of the best early deals we found. This was written by Allison Murray, and it's a couple of days ago. So let's go into review, get rid of some of these ads. There are only a handful of times a year when you can expect to find standout deals that allow you to save up to hundreds of dollars on your favorite tech products, with Amazon Prime Day as one of the main events. Today, Amazon officially announced that the big annual sale is coming up the second week of July, and the ZDNet team will have you covered during the expected 2-day Prime event on the best deals for everything from Amazon products like Kindle and Fire TV devices to TVs, headphones, laptops, and more. Amazon said that Prime Day 2022 was the biggest Prime Day event ever, with customers purchasing more than 300 million items worldwide and saving over $1.7 billion. We're expecting to see a similar turnout this year. Here's everything we know so far about Amazon Prime Day 2023 and some of the top early deals we found. ZDNet will round up all the best Prime Day deals and products like TVs, laptops. Yeah, we already said that. And we already said it kicks off July 11th. Until then, we found some of the top deals Amazon has made available early for Prime members. So if you're a Prime member, I guess listen up, which I am also. I'll hold it. Annette just popped in. Hey, Annette, glad you popped in here. I'm on the first story about the announcing of Prime Day for this year. So you got in just at the right time. And Annette hopes you're feeling better, Eleanor. She's slowly getting there, but she can still use the prayers, trust me. Okay, back to the date. The exclusive. Amazon has finally announced about July 11th. Okay, we said all that. This follows the pattern of most years past, with few exceptions, falling on the second Tuesday and Wednesday in July. The exclusive deals for Prime members will officially launch on July 11th at, get this, 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I won't be waiting up for that. And new deals will drop as often as every 30 minutes during the 2-day event, according to Amazon. Oh, there is something new this year, but we'll come to that. Amazon Prime Day is an exclusive sale for Amazon Prime members. For those who aren't members yet, you can always sign up for a 30-day free trial. If you're a student, you may be eligible for a discounted Prime student membership, and the discount is pretty good for students, which includes a 6-month free trial. The shopping event will be available for customers, now get this, in Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Egypt, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Luxembourg, Mexico, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Spain, Sweden, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, the US, and the UK. So that's 24 countries. Didn't realize there were so many involved. First time I have seen so many. And Annette says she is a Prime member, so she will be taking part, I assume. Okay. We'll get back to the comments in a minute. For the first time, now get this, this one was unusual and the first time it ever happened, I think. For the first time, Amazon will offer invite-only deals during its Prime Day event. This means Prime members can request, now get this, an invitation to score some of Prime Day's most highly anticipated deals, that are expected to sell out. So you have to request it. This is all new to me. So members who are selected will be notified during the sale with instructions on how to purchase the item at the set exclusive price. So I guess try to keep up between now and then with how this is going to work, because I'm not entirely sure when you can start requesting an invitation and all of this stuff. So it's something new we're all going to have to learn together. Amazon Prime costs $14.99 a month, or you can purchase an annual membership of $139, which will save you a few bucks. College students get a student discount of $7.49 a month, or $69 per year. That's a nice discount. In addition, those who with qualified government assistance can receive a Prime membership for just $6.99 after their free trial. So very good deals there. The membership includes free one-day delivery on most items, as well as access to Amazon Prime Video. For me, it's still two-day delivery almost all the time. Maybe that's because I'm in Tennessee. The e-commerce giant always includes sales from the biggest brands like Samsung, Philips, iRobot, and other renowned brands. You can expect to find exclusive deals on Amazon devices like Echo speakers, Fire TVs, and Kindles, as well as sales for big-ticket tech items such as laptops, tablets, phones, kitchen appliances, and more. Oh, and I wanted to mention, I said it's still typically 2 days for me to get delivery. And I said, maybe it's because I'm in Tennessee. Here's something interesting. I probably mentioned this before. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, there is a Prime Center. It's about 10 minutes from my house. If I order something from Amazon through Prime and it comes out of this warehouse, it gets released and then it goes to Memphis, which is 6 hours away from here. Then the next day it comes back to Chattanooga. I wish they just let me call and say, hey, I live 10 minutes from there. Let me come and get it. But they send it 6 hours out and then send it back the next day. I don't get that. Amazon Prime Day typically happens just once a year, except for last year. In 2022, the e-commerce giant held both a July and an October Prime Day event. That's true. The latter of which was also 2 days long and featured exclusive deals. Based on the success of that event, we can assume this year will also have a full Prime Day event, but we won't know for sure until Amazon announces it. Yeah, but I got to think, since it was successful, it'll probably continue, I would think. Amazon usually has its Prime Day deals broken down by category, as well as highlighting its lightning deals that only last a few hours on its homepage. So you got to really keep track of this stuff. ZDNet will update our Amazon Prime deals pages throughout the event so you can see the latest deals and snag the best savings. So now we all know July 11th and 12th, and you can request to get in on the special deals. I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess we'll find out. So let's get out of here. Yeah. Stop screen for a minute. Let's see. Illinois. I thank you. And Annette, unfortunately, I had to go on a very strong antibiotic. So all I can say is this has not been a fun trip yet. The doctor just put her on that antibiotic 2 days ago. There's prayers from Annette. That's great. Annette says she normally gets the next day delivery now. And that's in California. I'm thinking if you're in California, you're probably going to get it quicker than me in Tennessee. And that seems to be the case. Munchie says their shortest path shipping code has a major issue. I agree 100%. That's every time I order something that comes out of this fulfillment center, it's 2 days before I get it. So it's very strange. Anyway, Ted's not here yet, so we will continue with the stories. So I will go back to screen here. Okay. So next story up, also a Prime story. This one not a good one. I found this on BBC.com. So I just said Amazon accused of deceptive Prime practices. So let's click on that. Amazon accused of tricking Prime customers. This is from 2 days ago by Natalie Sherman. And she's a reporter out of New York. So it's on BBC, but she's an American reporting her stuff out of New York. So let's go into review, get rid of some of these ads. The U.S. has accused Amazon of tricking customers into signing up for automatically renewing Prime subscriptions and making it difficult to cancel. Didn't know that they were doing that, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised. A lot of companies do. The FTC, the country's consumer rights watchdog, made the claims in a lawsuit. It cited allegedly manipulative website designs. Amazon rejected the charges. Oh, really? What a surprise. Calling them false on the facts and the law. More than 200 million people subscribe to Prime globally. The service, which offers shipping perks, access to streaming movies. Yeah, the movies are pretty awesome. And the TV shows, too. At least their own TV shows. Costs $139 a year or $14.99 monthly in the U.S. and £95 per year in the UK. The FTC said Amazon used website design that pushed customers into agreeing to enroll. They didn't spell enroll properly. Should be another L there. In Prime and have the subscription automatically renew as they were making purchases. Yeah, mine automatically renews every year. The company attempted to make it difficult for users to opt out of auto enrollment because those changes would also negatively affect Amazon's bottom line, really. The agency alleged in the complaint filed in federal court in Seattle. Wait till you hear how tough this is. It also said Amazon put customers seeking to cancel through a cumbersome 4-page, get this, 6-click, 15-option process, which the FCC said was known internally as Iliad, in a nod to the Greek epic about the long, arduous Trojan War. I remember the Iliad from school a long time ago. Amazon tricked and trapped people into recurring subscriptions without their consent, not only frustrating users, but also costing them significant money. That's true. FTT Chair Linda Khan said. The FTT is seeking, I must miss something. Okay. Seeking a court order to force Amazon to change its practices as well as financial penalties in an unspecified amount. I hope the FTC wins. Amazon said it had been in the middle of discussing the issues with the agencies when the lawsuit was filed without notice. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they knew you weren't going to cooperate. The truth is that customers love Prime, and that's true. And by design, we make it clear and simple for customers to both sign up for or cancel their Prime membership, the company said. I think the first part is true. I think the second part is definitely not true. The FTC has repeatedly warned online firms against using dark patterns to manipulate shoppers. It has been investigating Amazon's Prime program since 2021, so a good long investigation. It said the company had attempted to delay the probe, so they knew it was happening, on multiple occasions, including by refusing to deliver documents in a timely manner. Evelyn Mitchell-Wolf, a senior analyst at Insider Intelligence Analysts, said the FTC was making an example of Amazon, as they should, in my opinion. It's quite common for companies to make it more difficult to cancel an account than it is to create one. And I think making somebody as big as Amazon an example would make the others sit up and take notice. So I think they're doing the right thing. Aggressive policing. Ms. Khan, who was appointed to her post by President Joe Biden, made her name critiquing U.S. competition policy related to Amazon. She has promised to move more aggressively to police online shopping and the power of America's tech giants. The lawsuit marks the third action from the FTC involving Amazon in recent weeks. That's true. The company agreed to pay $25 million last month to settle charges that had violated child privacy laws. That's right, I remember that story. And by keeping recordings children made on Alexa. It agreed to pay another $5.8 million to resolve claims that Ring, the doorbell company Amazon purchased in 2018, had violated privacy protection by giving staff unrestricted access. It's pretty embarrassing, to customer videos and failing to implement precautions against hackers. So all of that is very true. So I'm rooting for the FTC in this case. So let's come out of here. Stop screen for a minute. Okay, Ted is not here yet, and nothing new in the comments. So we will continue going down our stories. Pardon me. Okay, now we get to Samsung. Promotional images leaked ahead of Galaxy Unpacked event, and this was on Gadgets 360. So Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, Flip 5, Watch 6, and more spotted in leaked promotional images ahead of launch. Samsung is expected to unveil the Galaxy Z Fold 5, Flip 5, Tab S9 Ultra, Galaxy Watch 6, Galaxy Buds 3 at its next Unpacked event, written by David DeLima. So let's go into review. Okay. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Galaxy Z Flip 5 are expected to debut next month as the company's next generation of foldable smartphones. While Samsung hasn't officially revealed any details regarding these phones, a tipster recently leaked promotional materials for the phones online, along with images of the Galaxy Watch 6, which is expected to arrive as the successor to last year's Galaxy Watch 5 and the Galaxy Tab S9 series of tablets. The leaked images also show Galaxy Buds 3, which are likely to make their debut at the company's next launch event. Let's see if I take this out of ReaderView for a second. You should be able to see those. Okay. And there they all are. The Buds, the Flip phone, the Watch, and the Tab S9. So I just want you guys to see the picture. Back to ReaderView. Okay. Tipster Evan Blass, EveLeaks leaked images of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Galaxy Z Flip via Twitter on Sunday. Due to a takedown request, these images were removed and then re-uploaded by Twitter user Fabrizio Degni. A promotional image for the foldable smartphone shows the clamshell smartphone in green, while the rest of the image is in black and white. The image appears to confirm the rumors that the Galaxy Flip 5 will sport a much larger 3.4-inch cover display than its predecessor. I guess we know who's that battling against with the Razr, which is equipped with a 1.9-inch outer screen. Another image leaked by Blast shows the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, which is expected to debut as Samsung's top-of-the-line tablet model in the Galaxy Tab S9 series. The tablet is shown alongside an S Pen in the Galaxy Watch 6 and the Galaxy Watch 6, while the upcoming Galaxy Z Flip 5 is also shown in the image alongside the rumored Galaxy Buds 3 truly wireless stereo earbuds, which I just showed you the picture. The Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, Galaxy Watch 6, Z Flip 5, and Buds 3. Oh, that was highlighting the picture. Other images of the devices have previously surfaced online. These include renders of the Galaxy Watch 6 classes that show the wearable bear a striking resemblance to the Galaxy Watch 4, because it's going to have the rotating bezel again, as well as an image of the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Galaxy Z Fold 5 with the text "Unfold Your World" written in the latter with an S Pen. And I have not seen that image. Let me go back out of ReaderView just in case I missed that image. Okay. So, okay, Z Fold 5. So that's just that. And then we saw this picture already. And yeah, I don't see that picture that they're talking about. So back to reader view. Yes, I think we're going, but sometimes it takes a second to get into to jump back into reader view. Doesn't want to go back into reader view. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Leaked images show the Galaxy Watch 6 series sporting a slimmer design to last year's model, while the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic is shown with a rotating bezel that was not available with the Galaxy Watch 5 series. That's true. I have the 5, which I had traded in my 4 for it. So I'm not sure if I'll be getting the 6 or not, though. The Galaxy Watch 6 series is expected to debut with support for irregular heart rhythm notifications and is said to run on the company's Exynos W930 chip. At its next Galaxy Unpacked event next month, Samsung is expected to launch 2 new foldables, the Z Fold 5, Z Flip 5, along with a Tab S9 series, Galaxy Watch 6 series, and a Galaxy Buds 3. And then, of course, you all know I love my Galaxy Buds 2, which I'm wearing, and my Buds 2 Pro, which are my favorite. The event will take place at the end of July in Seoul, South Korea. This is the first time it's from there. Unlike previous Galaxy Unpacked events that were held in the U.S. and various European countries. So, all looking forward to that next month. Okay, back a review. Let's get rid of that. Stop screen. Okay, nothing new in the comments, and no TED as yet. So this could be quite a quick one, folks. We'll see. All right, back to the show notes. Okay. So this was kind of the exciting news of the week where people actually started getting their Motorola Razr Pluses, and people are putting out some pretty nice reviews. And the exciting thing seems to be this outer screen that everybody loves. I mean, everybody that talks about it or writes about it, they love this thing. So you can see why Samsung is making theirs bigger. I just said Motorola Razr Plus review, a less neat foldable. Oh, here comes Ted. Pretty good timing, Ted.
Hey, I tried.
Okay. So you got home, you didn't drop anything out of your trunk?
Yep.
You know I couldn't.
All in one piece.
You know I couldn't resist my bad pun, right? Ted had told me in his message he was driving home with his trunk open, and he showed a picture, and I just said, watch out, you don't want to be truncated. Now, keep in mind, I was a programmer for 34 years, so truncation is a very big word in programming. Anyway, pardon me. Talk a little bit more, Ted. You sound a little echoey.
Echoey?
Well, echo. I know it's not a word, but I made it a word.
Anyway,
Echoey. Just, okay, that's better. That's better. But yeah, we can understand you. Okay. Now, are you going to... Do you want to read the Motorola Razr Plus story?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, I've been through the first 3. This is kind of the exciting story of the week. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to mention, I didn't put it in the notes, but the Pixel tablet came out this week, and there's a bunch of reviews about it. I watched mainly MKBHD's review of it. And his general review seemed to be not terrible, not great. My impression was he thought it was pretty average and kind of okay and nothing spectacular. I'm thinking it sounded pretty boring to me, so I'm not even going to bother with it. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
From just one review? And MKBHD in that.
No. That was the main review I watched. I've watched 5, maybe. Nobody seems hugely impressed with this thing. That's my impression. Have you watched any?
Yeah, I watched Mr. Mobile's Dave 2Ds, and
Okay, and what did you think?
one other guys. Mr. Mobile, Dave 2D. There was a third. I think there's a third. Mr. Mobile, Dave 2D. Sagi. Yeah, Sagi.
Okay, so what did they think?
Although Sagi's was more of a comparison between the iPad, the base iPad, but
yeah, and that's what I saw. One of those too.
Yeah, they all liked it for the price. First of all, let's get that out of the gate.
Right. But
they liked the feel. They liked.
It seemed pretty unimpressive to me. Did you see anything that impressed anybody?
Honestly, yeah, the most impressive thing was maybe the fact that it came at its price and that the home base, made it
turns into the speaker. Yeah,
it turns into a better speaker. Otherwise, I thought it was interesting that they brought back profiles, because I know they took that away on Android.
Okay, now you said turns into a better speaker. MKBHD specifically said it's not as good a speaker as the regular Google speakers. So he didn't think it even was up to there.
Like, what does he mean? Like the Nest Mini speaker, or
yes. The regular Nest. He didn't think.
Or the Nest Audio.
Good. Right. He didn't think the speaker was as good as the regular ones, which I have that, and so does Eleanor. So anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because I didn't put it in the notes, but it just struck me that would I recommend it based on what I've seen other people saying? No, I would not. Would you?
Yeah, if someone was in the market for a Nest Hub, I could easily recommend that instead. Like get a tablet.
Even though the speaker for the Nest Hub would be better than this, the regular speaker.
Did he compare it to? Did he show it in the video?
he just said it wasn't as good.
Then no, you can't trust his word. He sucks.
Oh, see, I always trust his word, but then again, it's a Jersey guy judging a Jersey
Especially
guy. And plus the fact we're both North Jersey guys, so we tend to trust each other.
Especially after that LG 7 comparison with an iPhone 10, when he usually compares it with the phone. Yeah, nah.
I still trust him. I still tend to believe him.
If he shows me the work, fine, good, okay.
I do find some affinity for the guy. Not only are we both from North Jersey, he went to school about a half a mile from where I used to work. So, because he went to school in Hoboken. So, anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not impressed. I won't be getting it. So, whenever you.
But yeah, I didn't think it was there at $400. It was a device made to impress.
I agree. But one of the other guys was comparing it to one of the base iPads, and the base iPad he was comparing it to was $459, and I'm like, what happened to the $130 base iPad?
Oh yeah, no, it does I think because the Pixel tablet starts at 128 gigabytes. What does the base iPad start at?
I didn't catch it, but there was a $50 difference in price. I noticed that. So, but yeah, I can't remember who it was, but he compared them pretty closely. So they.
I think maybe we were talking about Sagi. We compared $449 and the Pixel tablet is $399, right?
$399. No, it's $499, not $399. Pretty sure it's $499. Double check me.
Normally I would ask Google, but Google's been. Mr. Mobile will say something really pertinent though about the Google Assistant,
Right.
Because the fact that Google Assistant has been getting worse has been a problem.
Right.
I
watched Mr. Mobile's review of the Razr today, and I thought that was pretty good.
All right. So interesting. So iPad, 64 gigabytes is $449.
Okay.
And the Pixel tablet is $4.99.
That's what I said. Okay, see, the old man has a memory.
Hold on. Okay, I clicked buy, but now it's loading. I don't think. Well, I think a lot of people are buying this or something. Like, why is it taking so long to load this page?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who buys this because all these guys got this from Google. So.
Oh my gosh. What just happened?
What did you do? Of course, you make me want to say, keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
All right. You know what? Who else can I buy from? B&H. Let's try B&H Photo because.
Are you going to try to find a cheaper price?
No, it's just I think the Google website crashed.
Oh, okay. You can check it on Best Buy or B&H.
B&H doesn't have it. Oh,
All right.
and they clocked out for their observance.
Let me go see it at Best Buy. I'm sure it's going to be the same, but I'm going to double check. So,
I'm just trying to look up the stores for goodness sake.
gee.
Yeah, it starts at 128, so it kind of it evens out.
Yeah, $4.99 or $128. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, that's what Best Buy has it for too. Same thing.
And then if you wanted to get 256, you'd have to pay the $549.
Exactly, which is kind of the same as phones, so we're used to that, you know. Anyway, to me, it doesn't strike me as being worth it. That's just my opinion. And Lord knows I have enough tablets.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have the iPad Pro. I've got the. I'm sitting here working on the Microsoft Surface Pro 8.
Okay, so yeah, they're both $599 at 256 gigabytes.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would think, I don't know, if I had to go for a tablet, I would definitely, at $499, yeah, I would definitely look at the Pixel tablet.
If I were going for a tablet in that price range, I would probably go with the iPad. That's just me, though. And, well, if I were going to get an Android tablet, I would go with the Samsung, which is better than which is going to be better than any other Android tablet.
I would hope because you're paying more money.
Yeah. But I mean, let's face it, Samsung Android tablets have been the only good tablets for years, and they're coming out with a new one in a few weeks. So I would think that's going to be the one to go for, even for more money. All right, whenever you're ready with the Razer.
Sushi. All right.
And I got this on CNET.
All right, that's the link. But what is your stories? Is there stories in the description?
Yeah. And I sent them to you too in the email, like I always do.
Yeah, I've let my email run free. I have 600 emails in my inbox.
Well, mine will be one of the newest ones. You just got it last night. And don't feel bad. I have a couple of thousand emails in my inbox at all times.
Oh, no, I missed the Prime Day ones?
Yes, that was the first story.
The first two stories I missed. Oh, no.
The first Prime Day, the first story was Prime Day. The second story is about the government going after Prime for trying to trick people into staying on Prime.
Oh, okay, I need to read that. You go ahead and read this story, George, please. Thank you.
All right, this is on CNET. Review, Motorola Razr Plus made me a flip phone believer. This was a pretty good review, I thought. The Razr Plus 2023 proves that flip phones have a lot more to offer than just portability. And this is by Lisa Chico. And this is from yesterday. So let's put this in review, get rid of some of these ads.
Create a free BBC account.
So she has her likes and don't likes. So we can see what she typed. Large, useful cover screen, creases barely visible. Everybody says that. Thin design, good battery life, fun photography features like photo previews. She didn't like not as many Android updates as Samsung. Yeah, I think they're one short. Flex view feels limited. Yeah, she did mention that. Front screen gathers fingerprint smudges easily, and Mr. Mobile said that too. And $1,000 is still expensive. So, Motorola Razr Plus, the Razr Plus's big screen makes a big difference. A big inner screen with a subtle crease, a simple software that should do more. The Razr Plus's cameras offer casual photos and selfies, and Razr Plus performance and battery life. Motorola Razr Plus benchmark comparison. So I'm going to go down here. For roughly 4 years, phone makers have attempted to establish what the next iteration of the smartphone should be. They arrived at two answers. The revival of the flip phone and tablets that fold in half to fit in your pocket. I'm usually a fan of the latter, but after a week of using the new Razr Plus, Motorola has changed my mind. Everybody seems to love this phone. Starting at $1,000 and launching on June 23rd today, the Razr Plus has one simple difference that makes it vastly more useful than Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. I don't have it with me today, but you all know I have that phone. A massive cover screen. While you'll still open the Razr Plus for most tasks, the spacious outer display gives the phone much more versatility, enabling it to adapt to the situation. The Razr Plus can turn into a miniature smart display, a viewfinder for taking selfies, and a lot more. Yeah, everybody seems to love this viewfinder for taking selfies, including Mr. Mobile. The way we use our phones has changed a lot over the past decade, so it makes sense that the shape of our devices should evolve to match. That's the premise behind the new Razr and other foldables, and Motorola's execution is among the best I've seen. But at $1,000, it's still expensive. Motorola is betting. Can you make a little bit less noise, please? I wonder if he can. Can you hear me, Ted?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Try to quiet down a little bit, please. Okay. Motorola is betting that consumers are willing to pay top dollar for a device that is still new and largely unfamiliar. As is the case with most foldable phones, you must be prepared to make some sacrifices in exchange for that flexible design, such as a less capable camera compared to similarly priced non-folding phones, as well as a subtle but still noticeable crease. Yeah, everybody says the crease is not as noticeable as the Samsung. The big screen makes a big difference. The Razr Plus has a 3.6-inch cover screen. Now get this, making it approximately the same size as the display on old smartphones like the iPhone 4. It's also significantly larger than the 1.9, as it sure is, screen on the front of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. I wish I had brought that with me tonight, but I didn't. Having a large cover screen might not sound like a big deal, but it makes a huge difference once you try it. There's a level of convenience that comes with being able to discreetly reply to a text message on a full keyboard or check the weather quickly without unfolding the phone. The cover screen also makes the phone more useful when doing simple things like listening to music or taking photos. However, it does gather fingerprint smudges, so be sure to wipe it off, and everybody agrees on that too. What I can say generally is everybody seems to agree that the big outer display makes you not have to open the phone anywhere near as much as you've had to open flip phones in the past. The Razr Plus's large cover screen can also feel like a miniature smart display. I partially opened the Razr and propped it up like a tent while listening to Spotify so that the front screen was facing out, making it easy to glance at which song was playing and to skip the next track without lifting my phone. Let me drop out of read it. I think there's a picture of that. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, see, this is what she meant, putting it in tent mode. So I just wanted to show you guys that. See See if I can get back to review. Okay. I also propped it up on my desk at work so that I could see the weather and incoming notifications just by peeking over at the screen. Oh, now the picture shows up here, which it didn't before. It reminds me of the new standby mode coming to the iPhone on iOS 17. Cool. But perhaps the camera is the best showcase of how that cover screen can be put to use. It provides a large canvas for previewing selfies taken with the rear cameras, giving you more space to see yourself and your background compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 4. There's also a mirror mode. Yeah, everybody seems to love that too. Complete with shortcuts for zooming in and brightening the screen to more easily see details. Oh, and let's see, Gary is here. Yeah, Gary says, sounds like Ted is killing something. Glad you're here, brother. Let's see, Gary says, Motorola has a hit. Well, I agree. So mine will be on the way. They haven't shipped it yet, though. AT&T is giving them away with trade-in, of course. Okay. My friends got a kick out of the fact that they could see themselves on the front screen as I was taking a photo of them. That sounds pretty cool. Everybody seems to like that. There's a lot more you can do with the front screen, but these are some of my favorite features. The Razer Plus's cover display has extra screens so you can scroll through, yes, which Motorola calls panels. So as you flip through, I guess like right to left or left to right, you have these panels. There's a panel for app shortcuts, contacts, upcoming calendar appointments, weather forecast, Google News, Google Fit, your Spotify player, and games. I must be the only person in the world who doesn't use Spotify at all. You can cycle through them by swiping left or right, while the main home screen has shortcut buttons that let you jump directly to each one. I like that. Long pressing the home screen lets you edit and rearrange your panels. Cool. For the most part, these panels reflect the tasks most of us would likely be doing on the cover screen, like quickly checking the weather or firing off a text to a friend. I love the fact that you can text on that screen without opening the phone. Gaming may sound like a surprising use case for such a tiny screen, but playing titles like Solitaire and Astro Odyssey was actually more amusing than I expected. And a couple of other reviews, they didn't mention it, but they were playing those too, and they seemed to enjoy it too on that screen. At a time when smartphones can feel unwieldy to use with one hand, I appreciate being able to scroll through news headlines on a device that fits in the palm of my hand. If you're using an app on the phone's main interior screen, there's a handy button, yeah, I like this, to pick up where you left off when closing the phone. So you can be looking at something on the full phone, hit a button, and when you close it, you'll still have it on that outside screen. I had to go into the settings menu and give most apps permission individually to do so. So you keep that in mind. So that may be a bother, but it'll be, I guess, a one-time bother. While I appreciate this level of customization and the privacy precaution, going through my app list to choose which ones I wanted to see on the front screen was time because, yeah, I said it'd probably be a one-time bother. Was that you?
What was that me?
I heard something. I thought it came from you. It was loud too. Okay, what? Okay, it wasn't here. All right. The vast majority of apps work just fine, but the Google Assistant, yeah, get this, app doesn't seem to be supported on the external display at that time and running. That's a bummer. Whenever I use Google's voice-enabled helper, I would see a prompt on the cover screen encouraging me to open the phone. That's bad. They should have made sure that worked on the outside. And that's a shame because I could see the Google Assistant being especially handy when using that cover screen as a miniature smart display. I agree. I also wish I could more easily access the entire app drawer from the external display. I could see where programmatically, as an app developer, that would be difficult to accomplish. You can browse through your apps when choosing which ones to pin to the apps panel, but I couldn't find a way to summon my app catalog otherwise. Yeah, that would be a tough thing to program properly, I would think. and very time consuming too. Motorola isn't the first to put a large cover screen on a foldable flip phone, but it is rare. The Oppo Find 2 also has a reasonably sized outer display that measures 3.26 inches, which is smaller than the Razr Pluses, but seemingly large enough to feel useful. I haven't used that phone, and it can be difficult to find in the US. Yes, that's true. But my colleague Serena Dayram said she found it to be convenient for checking the weather and viewing notifications. However, Motorola may have more competition soon enough. Samsung's next Galaxy Z Flip, which could debut at the company's Unpacked event next month, is also expected to gain a more spacious exterior screen. Yeah, I don't think Samsung had a choice. The crease is certainly present on the Razr Plus, although it's barely noticeable. Yeah, now Mr. Mobile seemed to think it was more noticeable than she thought, but I gather it's not quite as noticeable as it is on the Flip. In most situations, it's visible when using apps on wallpapers with dark backgrounds, and when the phone is tilted at certain angles. So I gather other angles, maybe you can't even notice it. But it's much more subtle to the look and touch compared with the Z Flip. It sounds similar to the crease on the Oppo's Find N2 Flip based on my colleague's experience. The Razr's 6.9-inch main screen is considerably large, topping even the Galaxy S23. That's pretty good. 6.8-inch, so it's 1/10 of an inch bigger screen in terms of sheer size. However, the Razr Plus's screen is narrower than that of your average phone, much like the Galaxy Z Flip 4's. But this didn't impact the experience, and it actually works to the Razr's advantage, making it feel thin and portable for a phone of its size. So, nice review, I thought. And for somebody who tended to like the big foldables, who's now been converted, I think that says a lot. And I wanted to get that out there. Screen, let's see. Yeah, Gary says AT&T has given them away with a treat. Yeah, I heard all the carriers are doing great deals. I'm just not doing any carrier deal. Gary says, I saw somewhere that you can cash to your television like Samsung. Yes, it has. What's it called, Ted, that you have my phone for?
Motorola Ready For.
And Ready For, yes. It has Ready For built in. And I think Mr. Mobile said this is the only flip phone that has Ready For built in, so you can cast it to your television or to your computer. Google Assistant has been off on the Nest products for a while now, been good on the phone now. Yeah, I think they should have made this work with the outer display, but just my opinion. Because I don't have mine yet, so take mine with a grain of salt. I'm just going by what I'm reading. So, are you finished typing? You were just typing away.
Nothing escapes this Rode shotgun mic I have installed, huh?
That's true.
Yeah, I had to use the iPad. I didn't have enough time to set up my camera, which means I'm not using this guy, although I could be using this guy. Just realized I just have to set. Can I use you? Yeah, I just have to set up the dongle. Oh, well, whatever. I'm already using this shotgun.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, we've got 2 stories left. Now, you going to take one of them? Are you ignoring what I'm asking you or not?
Yeah. Do you say both of them?
He thinks he's a keyboard player. No, just one at a time.
Yeah,
Right,
I'll do the next one.
These are the 2 unusual stories. So I just said the return of replaceable batteries. This is on The Verge, and this is strictly EU, and it's still a few years away. But whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, wait! I didn't get it shared yet, did I? Silly man, pardon me. Okay, there we go.
Easily replaceable phone batteries might be back, and I'm here for it. I'm talking personally. The EU is declaring that mobile batteries should readily be removable. Should be readily removable.
Yeah,
How will manufacturers respond?
yeah,
By
they're going to
Barbara
attack.
Krasnoff.
They're going to talk about later what that means, readily removable.
Now, this is by Barbara Kranzoff. She's our review editor who manages how-tos, and she's worked as an editor for Writer for almost 40 years.
Cool.
So the other day, this is Barbara, I was going through a bag full of old tech. I mean, really old tech. Trying to convince myself to finally get rid of phones I hadn't used for 10 years or so when I came across a battery. One of the batteries I used to carry around in case my phone ran out of juice. You see, once upon a time, smartphones had replaceable batteries. Instead of having to carry around a portable charger or search desperately for a wall socket so you could charge up your failing phone, assuming you had the power cord with you, you could pull off the back of your phone, replace the added power battery with a fully charged one, and proceed happily on your way. However, at some point, manufacturers and perhaps most consumers decided that they wanted their phones as light and slim as possible. So slim that there was no room for a battery that wasn't glued into place. They also wanted to add water and dust resistance, and that's a lot harder to accomplish with a device that easily opens. So slowly but surely, the replaceable battery disappeared, and we all learned to carry around chargers or cords for just-in-case scenarios, especially if your phone battery was starting to age. I have to admit that the first time I bought a phone without a replaceable battery, I felt a little peeved. It was probably akin to what most music enthusiasts feel purchasing a phone with a great audio, but without an audio jack. You can adjust to the change, but you wish you didn't have to.
That was a good comparison, I thought.
Now, however, there's a chance that one day I might be able to adjust back. See, back in 2020, there was a proposal by the European Parliament for new laws concerning the regulation of batteries, which included a clause that demanded portable batteries incorporated in appliances should readily be removable by the end user or by independent operators through the lifetime of the appliance. Other regulations concern batteries for various vehicles and industries. In September 22, the EU reached a provisional agreement to move forward with those laws, and on June 14, 2023, the European Parliament approved it, sending out a press release explaining that portable batteries must be designed in such a way that the consumers can themselves easily remove and replace them.
Emphasis is theirs, not hers.
I can drink to that. Arizona green tea, a good year.
Oh, that's what I drink all the time.
So a final vote is still upcoming, but considering that this month's approval was passed with 587 votes in favor, 9 against, and 20 abstentions, I would say that this is pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
A formality. The part of the batteries being replaceable goes into force in 3.5 years after the final vote. That's the compliance period.
So they've got some time.
What this means is that in a few short years, any phone sold in Europe would have to be designed so that its battery can be replaced by the person who owns it. And that any manufacturer who does business in Europe will have to decide whether they want to create completely different phone models to fit that market or come up with phones that can be sold in other parts of the world as well, like the US. Since this news hit, there's been lots of discussion about the exact interpretation of the phrase readily removable and replaceable. Kevin Purdy makes some good points in his Ars Technica article in which he notes that the batteries are actually replaceable now if you have the no. Shut the hell up.
Well, that's true if you know how to do it.
And to get through the adhesive holders your phone. But is it readily replaceable?
That's what the argument is about.
If it's glued, it's not readily because you can't take it out unless you get the
I agree with you 100%. But it is an argument. I can see that.
Of course, it's a little hard to argue that this would qualify as, oh my God, yeah, she said it in the next sentence, as readily removable by the typical user.
Yep.
But what does? Using specialized instruments to get at the battery so that the replaceable means putting in a new semi-permanent battery, simply unscrewing the back of the phone, or going back to the way it was and just prying it off with your fingernail. I have to admit that I'm very curious to see how this will pan out. Odds are that it will probably look different than the replaceable batteries we had 15 years ago. It's more likely that we're about to be. It's more likely to be about extending longevity of your device, not getting a few extra hours of use before needing to charge. Still, I like to daydream on once again be able to shrug and swap a battery in under a minute when my phone is running low on power. I guess I can get used to that again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that. Like, that was cool. Like, being able to just simply
Exactly. You would just peel off the back, stick in your finger, pull out the battery, stick in a new one, and slap the back on. That was easy.
But for us multiple phone users, that doesn't make sense to just carry multiple batteries with the same phone. Like, we would just have a power bank.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I don't think power banks are going to go away.
Anyway, interesting article, I thought. But you still got more than 3 years before they have to decide.
So we got 3 years. Good. Next thing the European Parliament needs to do is to pass a law about SD cards and phones. That's what they need to do next.
You mean about keeping SD cards?
No, forcing them.
Oh, okay, yeah. The last 2 phones that I just got, the last 2 budget phones I just got, both of them have an SD card. I'm so used to not using an SD card, I didn't put an SD card in either one of them. Okay, let's see what Gary says. Ted sounds like a person who types 80 words per minute. He types faster than me, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Removing the battery would kill water and dust proof. Yeah, that's what some people have been saying.
Wrong. The Samsung Galaxy S5 was water and dust proof, and that had a removable battery. Same thing with the Note 4.
Okay. Trying to remember, did I have the S5? I think I did. Oh, no, I had the Note 3.
And the LG G4. Was it the G5?
I didn't have LG back then.
No, it wasn't the G5. Yeah, no, the G5 did have water and dust resistance.
Okay, my G6 had it. That was the first LG phone I had.
And it obviously the G5 was the weird one with the how, but I think it was actually the last phone to ever have those removable battery. Technically,
no, you're right. The G6 did not have a removable battery. That's true. Okay, and Gary said good point. Okay. All right, I am going to go back and get the last story. And we don't have any glowing rectangles anymore. So this is going to be the last story. And just thought this was interesting. I said robot food delivery in Europe. Practically.
Hey, I can do this story. Let me do it.
You want to read? Okay.
Yeah, let me read this.
Okay, this is on CNBC.
Hold on, they're asking me to support journalism. Fake news. Get out of my face.
Oh, but
All right.
It's not fake news, it's face news. Okay, you said out of your face, so I couldn't wait. Okay.
Well, all right, so European Uber rival Bolt will deliver food to your door via self-driving robots.
Yep.
That's what they have. But over here in America, we're using drones, so I guess we're winning.
Wait, I'm trying to get it into reader view, and it's fighting me again.
So
Okay,
ride-hailing firm Bolt will start offering free food. No. I was imagining the free. Will start offering food delivery via a fleet of robots applied by U.S. robotics firm Starship Technologies. The company will initially start offering deliveries in Tallinn, Estonia.
Tallinn, yeah.
Tallinn, Estonia, a spokesperson of the firm said. The deal is a commercial partnership and will be expanded to cover other countries where the Bolt and Starship operate. Estonian ride-hailing firm Bolt says that it will begin delivering food to people's doors from a fleet of self-driving robots through a partnership with robotic firm Starship Technologies. The company said it will start offering online food deliveries in its home city of Tallinn later this year in an initial rollout of Starship robots, which are roughly the size of a suitcase. We are focused on providing well-rounded solutions to help make local transportation as sustainable as possible. Narkis Villig, founder and CEO of Bolt, said in a statement Wednesday, Starship offers a much smart and much loved service that's proven itself over the past 5 years. I'm very excited to introduce the service to more people. Bolt, one of Europe's most highly valued tech companies with a valuation of $8.4 billion, made a name for itself challenging Uber in the U.S. ride-hailing giant's key international markets, particularly the UK. The company has expanded into several other lines of business, including food, grocery deliveries, and e-scooters. Founded in 2013, formerly known as Taxify, Bolt has around 100 million customers in 45 countries around Europe, Africa, Middle East, and Latin America. Bolt has raised more than $2 billion in funding to date from investors including Sequoia, World Bank Unit IFC, and the European Investment Bank. So how will it work? Just like ordering online food from apps in that typical way, Bolt Starship partnership will allow users to get their food delivered from robots at the tap of a button. Once the robot arrives at your door, you'll be able to press a button that opens it up and receive your meal or groceries. And better yet, you won't have to tip at all. Tip not necessary. George, you're muted. You're muted, George.
I was thinking at that point, as a customer, they're going to be giving you a code that'll open that button. Look at this. Renz is here. Renz, glad you're okay.
Hey,
I
Renz. Been a
figured
while.
you'd been busy, but of course, you're very kind as always. Thank you, Renz. Okay, anyway, I'm thinking as a customer, they're going to give you a code to unlock that.
Yeah, like an authentication code.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was thinking, one thing you don't have to give is a tip.
Well, I would think they're going to give you the option of giving a tip up
to
front.
a robot, George?
No, to the company. I mean, they all give you the option of giving a tip up front.
To the company? I'm not tipping.
I would bet money that when you get charged, you're going to have the option of tipping.
Tipping who?
Tipping the company.
Who tips a company?
Everybody wants a tip nowadays. I don't care what part of the world you're in. They're going to want a tip. I guarantee it. Guaranteed.
It's not going to work here. Anyway, tipping is not a thing there, I think.
People may not do it, but they're going to ask for it. I guarantee it.
No. Let's see. So once the robot arrives at the door, you'll be able to press a button that opens it up and receive your meals on groceries. Wednesday's news marks a major milestone in reaching commercial deployment of the technology at scale. Bolt plans to start deliveries in Tallinn in the coming month and then roll out the robots to further markets at a later point. Starship, headquartered in San Francisco and co-founded by some of the founders of Skype, already operates a fleet of autonomous delivery robots in the U.S.
Yeah, I'm thinking, where are these autonomous robots in the U.S.? Because it seems to me they got a better chance in Europe than they have here.
Stateside, the service is primarily used by college students in partnership with the food delivery firm Grubhub. The firm has similarly deal placed in the UK and other European countries within British grocer Co-op. Starship, which has raised around $200 million in the funding to date, is one of the many companies testing out the use of robotics for delivery food and other goals. In Asia, the Chinese companies have been early to the trend. Meituan?
Meituan, I would think.
The major food delivery app was testing its robots in offices and hotels as early as 2019. Some attempts to make deliveries using fleets of robots have been hit with setbacks as widespread take-up of the technology has been limited. In the US, for example, Amazon ended its field test of Scout, a delivery robot that sent small packages to customers' home in a bid to cut down on costs.
Yeah.
Whatever. So what about the drone stuff? No, I guess they just stopped the drone stuff.
You would think the drone stuff might be safer because I know in Arizona and I think in California there's been a couple of people killed by self-driving cars, and that's what slowed things down or stopped things. But the problem with drones is now you've got air traffic you've got to deal with. I'm thinking it's just not there yet. The technology. And my guess is the politicians are going to stop them anyway with the drone stuff. Don't you think?
So,
if you pay off a politician enough, you can have anything you want. That's always going to be true.
it's true.
Renz, we're so glad you let us know you're there, because I started the show off kind of worried about you a little bit. So thank you very much, as always, sir. So, Ted, explain to them the whole business with glowing rectangles again for those who missed it.
No.
Please. Explain to them what's happening with glowing rectangles, or what happened, I should past tense.
There's no glowing rectangles. It's private. It's private, so you gotta keep it hush.
And tell them why.
Shh. No, I gotta keep that hush, George.
Will you come on? With Reddit, the whole thing is Reddit.
Yeah, so the site, Renz, is their site, reddit.com.
Right.
Currently, they want to charge API users, that is, third-party apps that offer, their own unique user experience to, view the Reddit site. Yeah. They want to charge them for using their API.
And they want to charge them through the nose too, if you ask me.
Through the nose, a lot of money, and they only want to give them 30 days to, transition into the price, which is a problem.
And I think this is all predicated upon that Reddit is about to go public in a couple of months, and this was their way of getting more money. But I think it's going to end up backfiring and hurting their offering in public. That's my guess. I think it's going to hurt their stock offering. That's my guess.
It's been a roller coaster. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't come up on your stories, George.
Yeah. Well, it's complicated, and the fighting back and forth has not stopped yet. Oh, and by the way,
yeah, it's an ongoing story. That what makes it exciting.
Somewhat.
All right. So here's a chain of events, guys. So first, Reddit, it announced the price changes with only the 30 days, which was the problem for the third-party developers. So, pretty much, third-party developers, I said, after they're going to shut down at the end of July, I think.
I thought this month.
Or June. Oh, yeah, June. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this month. Yeah. They have another week, and that's about it.
So as protests, the subreddits have been going dark, privating it so they're not going to have any activities. The glowing rectangles was one of them.
Right.
And the largest ones is our videos and all that have done too. So then Reddit put out an order, I guess, saying that, if the moderators were not going to take their subreddits off private, they would kick them off as Redditors and appoint different moderators.
Right.
And so that has, moderators, some Redditors, moderators have, lifted up the privacy, the going dark on the subreddits.
Right.
But on the other hand, the Redditors have just been, spamming nonsense on the site, so that nothing useful has been coming up on the subreddit.
Plus the fact, if they're putting their own modifiers, well, now it's not a free platform anymore. It's a totally different thing, right?
I'm thinking, yeah. I guess now they still get Section 230 protection. Yeah, they still get Section 230 protection. Darn.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame. So anyway, that's where they are. Oh, and by the way, anybody who didn't know, Twit had some of their shows get canceled this week. Was it All About Android got canceled this week, right?
Yeah, and another one something about photography.
Yeah, I used to follow 3 or 4 of their shows, but for me personally, the more I heard Leo Laporte, the less I liked all of his, and he owns all of Twit, so I eventually canceled all my subscriptions to all of their stuff 4 or 5 years ago, a while ago. So, and you had asked me in comments why I can tell you now, keep in mind I'm 78 years old. I was raised in New Jersey, a half a mile from New York. That's key. Because back in the 50s and 60s, people from New York and New Jersey really, really disliked pure Californians. And that hasn't changed. And that has not changed for some of us.
Pure Californians?
People who had that whole California attitude. And to people from New York and New Jersey, that was a totally opposite view of how New York and New Jersey people viewed things in general. So we tended to not like them. And Leo Laporte is purely that kind of person. And he's almost as old as me, so I can see why, you know. So anyway, that's why I stopped subscribing to all of Twit's stuff years ago.
Ah, okay.
So now you know why.
He's a Californian through and through.
Yeah, that those kind. Now California's like a neck. Yeah, I'll take as many as them as they've got. But I'm talking about old timers like me. You know, back in those days, Californians did not like New Yorkers, and New Yorkers did not like Californians. That changed somewhere over the years, probably because we all started moving so much. You have to remember, back in the 50s and 60s, people didn't move around the country. They pretty much died where they were born. That changed back in the 70s, and I became one of them. I've lived in Orlando. I've lived in Tennessee, you know. So I'm one of those too. So that's what changed everything. But back in the old days, that didn't happen. So giving you young kids a history.
Oh, okay.
And Gary, I didn't even realize that Twitter owned Flipboard. Did you know that, Ted?
What?
I didn't know Twitter owned Flipboard. Did you?
He said Twitter did it. What did Twitter do with Flipboard? I didn't know they owned it.
The same thing that Reddit is doing now, he's saying.
Oh, I didn't even know they owned it. Wow.
I did not know that either. So, see, as Gary, as I've said, you and Brian a number of times, and others have taught me stuff. And once again, you're doing it again. You taught Ted and I both something tonight. So, good job. So you can teach an old dog new tricks. It just takes longer.
Let's see. I think there's a bonus story.
Go ahead.
Bonus round. It's going to have to come from CNBC, though.
If you tell me where to go get it, I'll go and get it. I'll do my best to go get it. So am I going to CNBC?
I'm checking the time. Do we have time for one last story?
Yeah, we have time. Just tell me where you want me to go, because I'm going to have
It's in the comments.
Oh, it's in the comments. Okay. In private chat? No, it's not in private chat. It's in the comment. I'm not seeing it in the comments yet.
I'm not allowed to put links. You didn't make me a mod. No.
You can put it in comments or private chat. I'll grab it as soon as I see it.
Okay. Is that you or me? The sirens.
That's coming from you. That's not coming from here. You won't hear any sirens outside of Eleanor's house because we're too far in the suburbs. I mean, they'd have to be right on top of us, and nothing ever happens here. That's why I like it here. Yeah, we are here. I'm about 20 minutes outside of Chattanooga proper, so I'm outside of the city, and we're in the next town. So. Did you give me anything?
Yeah, I posted in the comments again. If that doesn't work, I'll post it in Telegram.
Oh. Why don't you just tell me what to type in and I'll go find it? Just tell me the name. Oh, never mind. I see it.
Where do you see it?
On Telegram.
Right, so you can't put.
I'm copying the link. Let's see if I can go get it.
I can't post this stuff on links.
The Zuckerberg story, is that the one we're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
Fight.
Oh, I've been seeing this for 2 days now. There's a bunch of stories about it. All right, let me go present it. And I did see that Zuckerberg has actually done some working out. I gather not preparing for this, but just in general. But I would still put my money on Musk, and Musk is much older.
I'll put my money on Mark.
Okay, yeah, I won't. To me, and of course, this is again being an old timer coming from a very mafia raising. To me, Mark Zuckerberg is a soft wimp. That's how I see him.
That's how he looks.
Yeah, he wouldn't last with me. He wouldn't last with me at 78. I don't think he could last 2 minutes.
I think that's how he looks. He studies the judo, George.
I used to be very, very, very good at martial arts, and I had the most accurate and quickest feet you've ever seen in your life.
Okay. Well, he's not going up against you, George. He's going up against Musk.
Yeah, I think I'd still pick Elon. I could be wrong. I have to admit, I could be. Are you going to read this story?
Guys in the chat, who do you got your money on if Elon and Musk in a cage match?
Now, keep on. What is Elon? About 8-9 years older than Mark, I think. I saw that somewhere. Can't remember.
Hey, Google, how old is Elon Musk?
51 years old. People also ask me, what is Elon Musk's IQ? Want to hear the answer?
No, but you could tell me how old Mark Zuckerberg is. He's 51.
Yeah, I heard that.
39 years old.
Oh,
yeah, so
advantage.
12-year difference. 12-year difference.
Advantage Mark.
He's 40 years younger, 30-some years younger than me, and I don't think he could whip me. Now, of course, I admit Elon's not going to be in the shape by him, or he doesn't work out as much as me, and he doesn't punch heavy bags. So I'll give you that. You
can get the story, George.
All right. This is on Make It. It's on CNBC. Okay, got you. Musk Zuckerberg cage match PPV would cost $100. Bring in over over $1 billion. I agree that it would probably bring in more than that. This would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world. I agree with that too. Let's see if I can do this in read a view. Okay, I can. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are absolutely dead serious about trading blows in the octagon, and fans will only have to pay up if they want to watch. Now, see, the last story I saw said that Musk was not serious about it. So we'll see. UFC President Dana White, of course, Dana White's going to get in on this, on Thursday told TMZ Sports that he spoke with both billionaires about their social media beef this week, which saw Zuckerberg accept the cage match challenge issued by Musk on Twitter. I'm guessing Elon's going to have to back out. Mark Zuckerberg hit me up first and said, is he serious? White told the outlet when the promoter reached out to Musk, the Tesla CEO told him, yeah, I'm dead serious. Okay. White said he's already in the early stages of planning how to put on the fight, but didn't hesitate to play up the excitement he expects to bring. Yeah, this will easily be the biggest fight in history. This would be the biggest fight ever in history of the world, bigger than anything that's ever been done. I totally agree. This would be the biggest fight in history of the world. Okay, said that already. It would break all pay-per-view records. I agree. The tech executive have a history of bad blood. Yeah, they've never liked each other. With the fight challenge coming after reports emerged that Zuckerberg's Meta is working on building a rival through Twitter. While a standard UFC pay-per-view costs $80, White said he would charge $100 for the Musk Zuckerberg. Yeah, I'd pay $100 for that easily. The previous biggest pay-per-view ever was Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather in 2017. White said, which brought more than $600 million in revenue. Yeah, they'd easily bring in $1 billion, probably a lot more. UFC President Dana White says Mark Zuckerberg, Musk could triple the $600 million bought by Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor's 2017 bout. Mayweather reportedly took home $275 million after winning, while McGregor walked away with $85. But a fight between Musk and Zuckerberg, well, neither one of them need the money. I wouldn't think they'd even
Musk
take
needs
the money.
Musk
They need to donate that money to charity.
Musk needs the money. Twitter's losing money, George. Musk needs the money.
You mean Facebook is? No, I think Zuckerberg is losing. Okay, well, either way, I think they need to donate it to charity. But a fight between Musk and Zuckerberg, the number 1 and number 10 richest men on earth, with a combined net worth of $340 billion, would easily set them there. They need to give that to charity. I think it triples Mayweather and McGregor. There's no limit on what this thing can make. I agree. The pair likely aren't looking to add up their net worth from the fight. However, instead, White suggested they each battle. That's what I'm talking about, for a charitable organization of the church. That makes perfect sense to me. Because of that, yeah, they need to do this fight then.
Nah,
I don't think
that's
either-
serious.
Well,
The
I think
fact-
they should do it for the charities.
All of this was just,
I don't think either
Dana
one
White
of them needs the money. These guys
peacocking.
would raise hundreds of $millions for charity. White declined to speculate about when the fight.
Why
will begin,
should
but he's
they?
ready to
Like,
make
they
it
can
happen.
just give the money themselves.
Well, of course they could, but I still think it's a good idea. I would pay $100 to see it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think they'd make more. I think they'd make multiple billions just on that fight. That's just my opinion. All right. Good extra story. Very good. You did good, Ted.
Thank you. And thanks for tuning in, guys. That's the story, folks.
Wait, let me get the last of the comments.
Oh.
Yeah, Gary says Zuckerberg would mess him up. Okay, that's your comment.
You pay good money to see Musket.
And he's why he couldn't put up a good showing at 50 something?
I would pay money to see Mark bleed. See if he bleeds red.
I just don't understand what he aged.
Or is he truly a
I
lizard
could
person?
put up a good fight at my age. Why couldn't he put up a good? Now I guess he'd have to train for it because I've been training for years. They can
Yeah.
fight in at the end. Bill Gates runs. They can fight in at the end. Bill Gates runs in
Oh,
with the
God.
shit. I'm not getting. Are you getting this comment?
Yeah, it's a WWE joke.
Oh, okay.
Wrestling joke.
See, Eleanor and I used to go to all kinds of that was back when it was the WWF years ago, back in Jersey. But yeah, I haven't watched it in so long. I don't know who does what nowadays or what they do in cage matches. Okay. But even Gary said he would pay good money to see Elon get jacked up. Yeah, I would pay to see either one of them win or lose. But I think it'd be a great thing for the charities. I think they should do it just for that. Anyway, you picked a good one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Ted came up with a good replacement story. Got to give him credit. So we will see you all next week. Anybody praying for Eleanor with her recovering foot surgeries, please continue to say prayers for her. And let's always remember we all do better when we love each other. Right after I talked about the fight, right? Okay. See you all next week, guys.